Ever since I saw the first pictures last year, I've been itching to drive a certain new Nissan. Not the Pixo. I am, of course, talking about the 370Z. It follows on from where the hugely successful 350Z left off, a front-engine, rear-drive coupe with a thumping V6 and manga comic looks. The only difference is that this time round Nissan is pretty much claiming its Z is good enough to take on the mighty Porsche Cayman. Have they gone mad? To find out, I'm going to compare the two. So let's start with the Z. It's powered by a 3.7 litre V6 which pumps out 331 horsepower. Naught to 60 miles an hour is dealt with in just 5.3 seconds, while top speed is 155 miles an hour.
This engine is seriously quick, but it's not the most refined unit and it doesn't spin quite as freely as I'd like. It more kind of growls its way to the red line.
It is very torquey though, which means it doesn't really matter if you end up in the wrong gear while exiting a corner, as there's plenty of grunt to pull you out.
However, there's actually no excuse for mucking things up because Nissan have fitted this car with a clever device which actually automatically blips the throttle when you're changing down a gear, so you don't have to worry about learning how to heel toe. I mean, it's such a simple idea, but then all the best inventions are.
The 370Z is shorter and wider than its predecessor, and it has a more aggressive steering setup as well. All of this is designed to make the car, well, basically more Cayman-like.
This car feels noticeably sharper than the 350Z, and it's got more grip, which means that you can just attack turns a little bit harder. But you have to be careful because there's no disguising where the engine is, because the added weight in the nose means if you actually go into a bend too quickly, you will get some understeer.
Also, the rear seems a little bit soft, which means that in fast turns it can get a bit vague. But I shouldn't be too critical. The Z is a very, very good sports car, and it really is exciting to drive, but surely it can't take on a Porsche. I've chosen to compare it to the Caymen S because its 3.4 litre engine has 320 horsepower, which means it's almost identical in terms of performance to the Z. Indeed, the 0 to 60 sprint time of 5.2 seconds is almost the same.
This doesn't tell the whole story though, because this Cayman S's direct injection engine is just so much sweeter. I mean, it revs so hard, it's like a motorbike, and it sounds glorious as well when you're absolutely gunning it.
The Cayman's mid-engine chassis and direct steering are among the best in the business. There's just so much feedback that you can feel absolutely everything the car is doing.
This Cayman feels a bit like a precision drill compared to the 370Z's wrecking ball. But that's probably a little bit unfair because the Cayman will pretty much humble any car. But then again, this is a fight Nissan picked.
The Z does claw back some ground when it comes to styling though. It really is an imposing looking machine and kind of makes the Porsche seem a little bit girly. While the Nissan has broad shoulders and an angry snarl, the Cayman has curvaceous hips and a pretty smile. The Nissan is also more distinctive inside, with a definite sports car feel. The Cayman, on the other hand, is rather unadventurous, although I have to admit it's definitely more upmarket.
But a Cayman S starts at 44 grand, whereas the Z starts at just under £27,000. Now I know that Porsche has a much better badge image than Nissan, and ultimately the Cayman S is a better driver's car, but the Z is still a fantastic sports car. And with the money you save, you could actually get yourself another car, such as a Pixo.
Actually, seeing as they only cost from 6 grand, you could have 3, as well as your 370Z.